Could be better, but we're sticking with it. All right. I love these advertisements you guys get to see the whole time. Let's start ranking these. Um, we'll leave it at us. I think we'll go from bottom up. That'll be a little bit easier. Absolute garbage. I can't even spell. D. Niche slash bad. C. Viable, but worse. B. Good slash average. That looks terrible. Let's just do average. No, run of the mill. There we go. A. A for who would we be putting in A? Just as a bit of reference. Probably like this I actually do have to question. It would have to be like well above average. And we're gonna just do viable. Niche slash I'm just gonna say niche. Absolute garbage. Niche, viable, run of the mill, well above average. Niche isn't synonymous with bad, so I think we'll use a different word after. You lose. It's on you. I think that's a good way of putting it. Okay, I'll start off. I think we'll just go from top left to bottom right, and I'll do a little spiel on why I think they are the way they are. Obviously starting with Blight. Don't worry, he's not staying there. Um, Hi Morgan, how are you doing? Does everything sound okay? I just loaded up stream. I think you're the first one in here. Hello. I should probably get music in here if Nightbot's on, because this might take a bit. How are you doing? Alright, I'm gonna keep going. Fuck it. Blight's actually unreal. Actually a crazy character. Super high skill cap. Absolutely no reason you should be I'm gonna say there are cases in which you would be losing with this character if you get the add-on. You run into the pallets, you're absolutely ridiculous. Your mobility, which I'm gonna be talking about a shit ton. Yes, it sounds great. Let's go. This is gonna be like I don't think this is gonna be like a hot take, but mobility is probably one of the greatest things in the entire game, and you'll see that as a trend with all of like the greatest killers. Ready to listen? Let's go, fool. Oh shit. Okay. I think mobility is ridiculous, and this character has the most mobility in the entire game. Second to obviously you're gonna see Nurse because she can just fucking go wherever she wants, and the only other character why can I not think of Billy, which why the hell can I not find it right here? Who, as of relatively recently, got nerfed. Wraith is not a Lauren. You were just outright wrong, but we'll get to Wraith when we get there. How long do we have till Wraith? Oh, he's dead last, Lauren. So don't worry. You won't have your heart broken for a very long time. But wait, Blight, absolutely unbelievable. Mobility is ridiculous. Wins most loops. Can be counterplayed if the person's like looking ahead. Usually the survivor has to be like red rank like 1-2 to like be able to do it. Oh, Nightbot is on. I should probably do music then. I'm just gonna look this up real quick for you guys. Want to make sure it's not that loud. This would be for my betterment too, because that way I won't have to like. Don't look at my password. Don't look at my password. Let's go. Question is, will I be able to hear it? I can most definitely not hear it. I don't know what is wrong with my headphones. So now I can hear it, and now I cannot. I don't even think you guys. Wait. I'm sorry if it's loud. I want to listen to this. Is this just loud as fuck? You guys can't hear anything. Okay, we're fine. I'm the only one who can do shit. Honestly, fuck it. I'm not even doing it. Not even doing it. That being said, where are we at? You can hear it? You could probably hear it when it was being redirected to the other thing. I'm gonna leave it as is because as much as I love you guys, I won't be able to hear it, and that's a big part of this. So I'm just gonna keep going. So Blight, S tier for sure. Actually, I might want to make. Most people stop it here, but I think there's enough S tier characters to like merit another rank. I've never once also used a tier list maker, so I don't know how to. Oh shit. Just take me back, take me back, take me back. Okay, good. It keeps this, so at least I won't be able to screw that up. Add row buff. Perfect. And we'll make this, what's a sick ass color? Yellow honestly could work, but I'm thinking, yeah, that's sick. OP, OP. This is on you, I think. This should be enough. There's enough killers in the game to merit another one with no add-ons. Um, with no add-ons, he's for sure worse, but with add-ons, he's ridiculous. So like, if we're taking just like the basis of both, no add-ons, he's still, don't even get me wrong, good. It probably has one of the best perks in the game, being Undying. Undying with like most things, obviously Ruin is just gonna basically win you the game as long as you play it relatively smart. Not even like that smart, relatively smart. And some, and if you're against like very bad survivors, it don't even get me started. Like it's completely on you, like 100%. Not OP, can be countered, can have bad games with no add-ons, can lose the Hex, Undying, Hex Ruin early off in the game, and then you're down 2 perks, and then all you have is how good you are at the game. So yes, Blight, absolutely unbelievable. This is gonna be an uneducated placement for sure. Probably the one of the most uneducated placements I'm going to be making because I have yet to play Bubba since I think I played him like one time. We're putting him here for now. Relax. Um, I've played him I think one time since he got changed a while back because I obviously am not stupid and enjoy playing Bubba. Sorry, Bubba means. um, but from what seems to be the consensus is that this is the case. No, okay, well above average is maybe okay. No, I think he is well above average. So the addition that he made, um, Undying Rooted Haunted Grounds, I really like the placements. Thank you. What was I saying? The addition, the change they made. So beforehand, he was very, very, very bad. I mean, probably like down here, like niche, maybe absolute garbage for sure. Niche, I think actually. Um, Now he can extend. He has charges to allow extra dashes, which allows for him to actually get his power off, which wasn't happening prior, which is a ginormous problem with a character who has no mobility and has to rely on his power to make him viable. Powers what make the killers good. Um, he's hitting his power now, essentially. He can break through pallets with, as long as you're playing it right. That obviously allows you to gain momentum on the survivor you're chasing. I don't know if it drops Bloodlust, but that alone is like a really good fucking thing. Him with like Demogorgon and with what are the other characters that can even do that? I'm not even sure. Billy can do the same shit. Billy's probably a little bit better. Um, but it's actually ridiculous. So survivors have to be playing like kind of out of their mind, I want to say, to be like avoiding the charge. As long as the person using them isn't like absolutely garbage, I think you'll be totally fine. And I believe you can extend the tantrum now too, which again isn't even like you can honestly use it as an advantage so they can't run through you at times. So very little downside of this character besides the fact that you have no mobility, which again I think is one of the most important things in the game, which is why this will seem like an interesting placement. But I think he fits the bill for sure for this. Getting people down, one-shotting is powerful. Do not get me wrong. That it saves you so much time that you obviously could have gotten like using your mobility to find people, but downing people quickly is also very important, which can make up for that time lost for sure. Clown, put him here for now. I want to think about this one too because I have played him. I believe only a small handful of times. I think there's been 3 games. If you play him, you have no dick. That is also true. Um, according to Lauren, at least. I don't play enough Survivor to like actually despise playing against a killer. I mean, I do hate Bubba though, incredibly. Getting one shot is pretty annoying. Not being able to use Dead Hard, which again is another crazy thing. We'll talk about specific perk counters, and why that will make specific characters better. It's why like anyone with the exposed status effect gains value from the fact that no one will be able to Dead Hard against you. So if you can ever one shot, um, you absolutely should most of the time. I'm going to put I I am tempted to put him in run of the mill because I have watched there is a wonderful Odd Starver video out there if you watch him. I absolutely love his content. You should listen to him and True Talent, probably the two best Dead by Daylight streamers you can listen to. You can take my word on that. I actually learned this game from True Talent, and then I started watching more content of Otz's, and Otz does a fantastic video on the clown and how to actually utilize his new fucking bottles. Because I think people are ranking him low because how punishing his new bottles can be, just because they require like a little more thought to utilize. But he will win, I'd say like 60% of chases. 60% of chases, I think. Like running into the bottle, chucking the bottle that speeds up you and the survivor at the survivor to start, waiting for the delay, moving towards it so they have to run away from it, and then using the slow on the thing that they're forced to run away to, essentially. Obviously, this would be better to see gameplay-wise, um, but there's a lot of instances where this character like can actually win um, the chase. So I don't think by any means he's here. I think he can win the chase. He can win the mind game. Obviously, still struggles with mobility. Um, Meanwhile, Bubba can win the chase and then just immediately hook because he just one-shot them. Clown still has to take his time to actually get the other hit, which is pretty fucking annoying. Anti-loop. Yeah, anti-loop is strong, which I don't think I can put anyone with anti-loop like in absolute garbage, but we'll see. Um, don't don't fucking quote me just yet. But by no means a horrible character. If you're fighting good survivors, they're just gonna beat you. They're gonna gen rush you. Um, the person will make you waste your bottles. If you have to reload, it'll still be pretty rough, even like in the midst of a chase. And then you'll have to lose a lot of momentum. Reloading bottles, making sure you're topped off, using the correct ones, not wasting them at the right time, being at the right spot on the map, not having a ton of mobility, obviously puts him inviable. Although he is anti-loop, so you can end some chases quickly, and maybe if you just do it often enough, you can actually get a decent game. That is the way I see him. Moving on. Death Slinger. Daddy Death Slinger. Um, okay. I do love this character. I've spent a lot of time playing this character. A lot of time playing this character. Probably one of if not my favorite killers in the game now. Um, Making the transition from Legion. I think he's right here. I think he's right about there. He huge skill cap. You don't know what he does. Shoots a gun. Literally has a fucking gun attached to a spear. Pulls you in. Does damage to you. Um, with the right perks especially, this killer is incredibly good. I think like one of, if not one of his most necessary perks being save the best for last. Absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. Don't give me a thumbs down though. I don't want to hear it. Um, actually ridiculous. If you become confident enough in using his ability, and then you run save the best for last, you will just. It's basically a one shot. You're at 8 tokens, or even like 6 tokens. You hit a person, get up to 7 for that wipe, do it like instantly. They're running out in an open field, and then just pop as they try to run to gain distance because they don't expect you to like pull your gun back that quickly. That's an instant down. That's basically like hitting someone that was exposed. You only wasted like an extra what, like 3, 4 seconds downing the person. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Um, and base, I think he's base movement speed. I don't think he has a slower walking movement speed, which is ridiculous. He has the mind game he can use while chasing you down, where you can aim the gun for a millisecond, force the person to dodge left and right, so that you can um, gain distance on them for sure. I mean, that's just like ridiculous. Anyone who can do that, Demogorgon can do the same mind game. Um, I don't think any other maybe. Oh yeah, and obviously you'll see Pyramid Head can do the same as well, and Huntress as well. But they all move relatively slow while they're doing it. Deathslinger could just pop up the gun for a millisecond and then they'd be forced to dodge. No one's ever going to. No one's gonna run straight forward, and if they do, you can just shoot them. It moves so fast. I think the video I watched regarding a Deathslinger tier list was that it moves like the speed of like a fully wound up Huntress hatchet, which I think is a very accurate comparison to make. Ridiculous. It's on you if you miss. I mean, obviously, there's going to be times where you do miss. The hitbox is pretty fucking small, but that is also has its advantages and disadvantages, as you can see with like Trickster too, which we will get to. Um, he can shoot through small ass cracks. There are some like crazy things you can do with this character that I think a lot of people are missing out on. You can get injuries through walls, through like tiny cracks, through like walls and stuff. And that's a not only does it injure, it also gives them the mend they have to mend afterwards, the Legion effect, which she can just get off for just hitting somebody with the gun. You don't even need to like reel them back in to get the full value out of this character. And you can avoid hitting um, the obsession for save the best for last by just shooting them and then letting them go. Injures them and forces them to mend, wastes their time. Um, and obviously, the main problem being with, and what I hear from everybody, is that he takes time to do what he wants to do. Next killer you're gonna get, I 100% recommend. This killer is ridiculously good. So much fun. Probably like one of the most fun releases I've ever seen. Very cool character. Feels good, plays good. The like I don't know. There's just something about the killer that I can't even explain. It is inexplicable for me to explain. That is what inexplicable means. Okay. Great killer. Give him a shot if you've not. Demogorgon. Again, gonna be relatively rough for me to rank. I've played Demogorgon, don't get me wrong. And I know they just buffed. And all of this is based on obviously all of this is based on the way things are right now. Post Trickster buff and Freddy nerf. I think this is it might be like 4.6.1 or something like that. Not like on release of the Trickster, but after the buff that he received. Which will not very much change where he lands on the tier list. I think this is honestly a fine spot. I think he belongs, or it belongs here. Um, what do we have to talk about Demogorgon? Same thing as Deathslinger. Can pull the mind game, hold the L2, force him to go left and right, gain distance, get a free hit. But he has a very he does Demogorgon has a very similar playstyle to Deathslinger, being that they're both anti-loop. But while Deathslinger reels them in to gain distance, Demogorgon's just getting the hit off. And there is definitely counterplay with Demogorgon. Deathslinger, it's like if you missed a shot, that's kind of on you. You made an incorrect read. Demogorgon is like you have to make like a hard read, like dead on the survivor, and it wastes, I'm pretty sure, a good amount more time than it does the Deathslinger, which you wouldn't really expect. Like you think, oh, like he'll have to reload his gun, but like you can choose not to. You can just like keep chasing. Um, you have to make hard reads with this character, but the mind games and chasing is very, very fun, and anti-loop is just so fantastic. Demo, but and we haven't even talked about his main ability, his portals. Portals I find are difficult to get a lot of value out of in a game. I think that's the best way to put it. Is that you'll want to use these portals and you feel like they're a very important part of his kit, but I feel like honestly they're just like supplementary so that he doesn't feel underwhelming, if that makes sense. As of recently, I believe they added the buff that he gets the undetectable status effect every time he uses it, rather than when he needed to use the add-on for that. But it doesn't last long at all. Um, for one thing, survivors can hear it coming a mile away as long as they're relatively close to the portal. They can hear him entering it. They can, and if you want the portal, obviously, to be able to see the survivors when they're within that like little radius where you can see where they are, that they're obviously going to be able to hear it coming, or they're going to be able to see it, if not both. They're going to be able to react. They'll just run away, hide for a couple seconds, and then you'll leave, kind of like the nurse predicament. But nurses can just do that every 2 seconds. He has to wait like a whole 25, 30 seconds to get his ability back up. Um, but I by no means think that his portals are the best part of his kit. His L2 is for sure better. Um, mind gaming, anti-looping, hitting. There's like one specific loop that he's really good at getting rid of that I really appreciate as long as you make the correct read. Um, Making him decent, and if you do, if you do get value from the portals, usually you just end up winning the game. Granted, very hard and very rare for that to occur, but if you actually manage to get it off, I think it works for sure. He works. He just works. By no means great, by no means bad. Right in the middle. I think that's honestly perfect. Um, Most good survivors will be able to take care of him though. Like like if you're actually getting value out of your portals and you're kind of relying on them, good survivors will just like take care of them like right away after you do the teleport so that your cooldown is down. You'll see that again and again. But I think that's enough. I think we covered a good amount about him. Um, and none of his add-ons really do much for him, so nothing there really. I'll address add-ons if I feel like I need be. There's specific characters that I think it applies to like a lot better. Ones with like very good ones, or ones that were basically are required for the character to be valid, such as like Trapper and like you'll see. I'll talk about Ghostface for a bit. Doctor, el Doctor. Hmm. Would it be crazy to just leave him where he is right now? Where I have him in the list? Doctor has no mobility, and it shows. But what he does have is very, very good map knowledge, which is incredibly valuable in this game. This game, everything revolves around time. How fast it takes for you to do something, to get a survivor hooked, to get the kill done, and then limiting it to a point where you can micromanage everything that's going on in the game. Usually that happens when there's about 2 people left in the game, but at that point there should probably be only like one gen done. Um, it just works proceeds not to work. I missed that. That's funny. Knowing where survivors are and having there be no counter to his power, um, with the bomb or whatever you want to call it, the static burst, whatever the actual terminology is. I'm not sure. I don't play Doctor a whole lot. I played him as of recently a handful of times. Also, I don't think he is terrible. I'm pretty sure where he is right now is honestly fair. He may even be above Demogorgon. Hot take. Very well could be. This character does different things. Less mobile, for sure, which hurts, for sure. But not wasting time looking for survivors saves you wouldn't believe how much time. Ridiculous amounts of time. So much time is wasted on this game looking for survivors. If not like I'd say like more than half Not even, like way more. But like 65% of the game, you're looking for survivors. He just drops that time ridiculously. And that's where I feel like his power stems from. And it's funny because I don't see like a lot of like streamers talking about this when they're talking about Doctor. They're just like, oh yeah, he shocks. Yeah, he gets the down. Like, you know where they are a lot of the time. Like, yeah. It's like, no, like he knows, yeah, he knows where they are almost all the time. And like, with like correct perk usage, with like gen defense, um, things that waste time. You go like ruin and dying, that'll be really powerful. You can waste a lot of time. Make the game go on really long and then just like spread out the hooks. That's an easy pip. It's an easy pip. Um, he's not going to be able to get from point A to point B very quickly, but he's going to know where to go so that he's not wasting all that time. Doctor, very good. Add-ons, I don't know much about, so I don't think they're very worth mentioning. I just assume that if I don't know what the add-ons are, um, there haven't been made like YouTube videos of them or anything, so I feel like they're not worth mentioning, and I feel like Doctor for sure is that case. So here, if anyone wants to dispute, you can. Smexy, how are you doing? Good to see you, homie. You are just in time for the executioner. I have not had. I feel like me and streamers are playing different games when we rank characters. So, okay, let me give you a little story. One day I was in chat, um, asked for a streamer, True Talent, if you've looked him up, what he thought of his opinions were on, um, what the hell is this person's name? Pyramid Head. And he said he thought they were ridiculous, probably most likely S tier. Um, and then I asked why. Um, and I feel like once again, this is the same case with Demogorgon, where I think that the thing you want to talk about. Well, no shot. You put the Speedy Boy in OP. Dude, this. Okay, you guys are. If you don't think he's in OP. Oh, I didn't put him in OP? You put the Speedy Boy in OP. You're saying I should put him in OP? Or that he's way worse than that? Because this character is so good. You're just lying to yourself. You think this character's bad. Um, I already. You can go back through the VOD. I'm only talking once on each one. I'm talking like a good amount per one, and we still got a good amount to go. I just want to have this so I have the VOD for later so that people can look at it. Um, Pyramid Head I think belongs here. And before I would have okay, so prior to that conversation I had with that streamer, I would have thought like here. No, here. Here for sure. Because what I try to do every game is I desperately try to apply torment. And I feel like that's not how you're supposed to play him. That's not how you're supposed to play him. You want to ideally loin. We're always thinking. We're always thinking in the stream. Stay conscious. I was desperately trying to apply Torment, but the thing you want to do is kind of play him like Trapper, I believe. Get the momentum, get the early kill, don't place traps, get your stuff going, gain a little bit of momentum, and then kind of like hurl everyone in. Freddy is way better than Speedy Boy. Not after buff. Not after. Oh, not after nerf is what I mean for sure. Freddy is and again I don't even know what they did for sure, but from what like everyone's saying is that he's like a good amount worse. Freddy will probably be like here. I'm already given a premonition right now. Oh my goodness, Blazer. Nerfs. He got nerfed. Yes. And I can't even tell you. I could look it up right now, and I could tell you right away. I'm pretty sure she's just gonna stay here. Clowning viable. I would love to hear your opinions, guys. Please flood the chat with your wonderful opinions. Who was I talking about? Oh yeah, Pyramid Head. Before I thought he was here, was trying to desperately apply torment. Not how you're supposed to play the character. Gain some momentum and utilize your fucking anti-loop. Utilize it. tap L2 for a millisecond. I thought that would slow you down a lot. Really fucking doesn't. Does the same thing that these characters are doing. Deathslinger, Demogorgon, Pyramid Head. Very similar. Very, very similar. Demo is better than Wraith. Lauren. You tap L2, force him to go left and right, force to play the mind game, put it back up. They just lost a ton of distance. Whack. Easy hit. You know for a fact that someone is making a vault, and there's no way that they're not going to. Hold the L2, that's a free hit. Anti-loot, if they're already injured. You get the torment off. I feel like that, again, is a supplementary thing. It's an added benefit to the character. Um, obviously, you can do the strat where you get them 2 hook, save the torment the whole game, kill them at the end so you don't have to waste the time hooking. I feel like that only saves you like a good 10 seconds. So, like, more power to you if you can get it off, like save the 10 seconds to win the game. But I feel like it's more so to lose the time that you would have spent hooking someone. I mean, anytime you can use the torment, you might as well. I feel like you're using the same. It's the same amount of time whether you use it to kill them or whether or not to just put them on a hook. But obviously, don't do it if there's another person tormented, so that they can both get cured. Then you're just losing value. But very good character. What are we saying? Let's see chat right now. Look at that. Right, fuck it. This is where I would put him. Now I think he's very good. I'm just bad at hitting the power, and a lot of this is going to be based on I'm going to try and be as objective as I can. I'll leave my personal um thoughts out of it as much as possible. But if I have a hot take on a character, I'm not going to be afraid to say it. Um, I think this is okay as so far. Freddy, I'm going to look up. Um, is this it? I don't think this is it. Deathslinger not OP OP. Honestly, I'm debating putting him like here. I think we'll cross that bridge when we get there though. But not by no, I don't think by any means OP OP. Not even fucking close. He wastes too much time. He just wastes too much time with reloading and missing shots and no mobility. It hurts. Human Head has no mobility at this like, but also the same anti loop that Deathslinger carries, and then doesn't have to carry them to the hook sometimes. And another thing, direct perk counter, which is an added benefit. So this is what I wanted to talk about on the stream. Saying that his torment can directly counter decisive strike. If you know what's coming, if you know they have it, if it's you just hooked them and you got them down again and they have torment, you just waste the decisive, and that's an easy kill after the fact. That's some good content. Thank you, Vinny. How are you doing? Good to see you. I didn't think of you as a DVD connoisseur, unless you're just here for the memes and to say hi. I appreciate it. I think that's enough to be said about Pyramid Head. Freddy. Yeah, I really want to see what they don't have him. Which patch is this? 4.6. What are they calling this character? The Trickster. The Trickster. They didn't only change the Trickster. I know that for a fact. Oh, it's in the later patch. I'm stupid. The new killer looks like you. You desperately trying to get girls by saying you look like a K-pop star. For sure. I think Freddy would be here. I don't know what nurse they did to him, in all honesty. Um, I think he would be like here, regardless. Actually, I think it's like hue after nerfs because again I don't know what they were, but apparently they were drastic. That's just all I've been hearing. It's like it's bad. Like oh my god, he needed a nerf prior. Like he's such a good character. Actually unreal. Before I think like before here, for sure. He would have. I mean, if he still has all the abilities he had before, still has all the abilities. There's no way he can be less than here. The ability to teleport is ridiculous. He has mobility. If and again, if he kept the power, like no matter which one it is, fake pallets, OP, like the dream snares, OP, wasting people's time, OP, and that's just like again a supplementary thing. Wasting people's time in the dream state, forcing them to take time to go out of their way to just wake up or pop a gen so that you know where they are. All very effective things. I don't want to talk about Freddy a whole lot because I don't have a super educated opinion. If there's anything you want to take like with a grain of salt, it would be this ranking. Um, at least he's better than he was way back when. Let's just say that. Definitely a better killer than he was way back when. And that is literally quite all I'm going to say about that character. I don't know enough to make an educated guess. Ghostface. Hard to say. Hard to say. Very big RNG based character, I have to say. Not in the literal sense, but more so in the sense that if you get the momentum early, you'll probably win. And it's kind of on the survivors to be super patient. Right before the first person makes the call out, hey, it's Ghostface. You have that one, yeah, that one itsy bitsy thing of hope to get someone off the gen with a grab, and that bit of momentum could literally win you the game. Good killer. Don't get me wrong. Has anti-loop in the sense that he doesn't have red stain when he uses his power, which is crazy. Crazy. Spine chill in his ass. That is a direct counter. Spine chill makes it way harder to play this killer. Way harder. Like way, 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 way harder. Um, but the reason why I put him here is because of that red stain ability when in chase. Survivors, whether you know it or not, will lie on the red stain to determine which way a killer is going, and sometimes they rely on it. It's like almost impossible to see if they're backing up with the red stain with that like 1 second gap that you get to look. And if they are, like you obviously take the hit. In this case, you don't even know which way he's going. You have to rely on your like base peripheral vision. And then it's on the ghost face to make the right call. And it's completely on him to make to do it. I love this killer actually a lot more than people give him credit for sure. Anti-loop is crazy, and let's not even get started on how much better this killer gets when he adds a single add-on that increases um, the power recovery rate for his power. Which, like, I know most people you're talking about, like, oh, other characters have that where you just get your power back faster. It's like, no, this character is just invisible the whole game if he has that. Yeah, and there's instances when people can counter Spine Shield by looking behind. I don't think I've ever pulled a big brain move like that in my entire life, but they can do that. There's such a high skill cap, but not in the sense of like what the power does being like difficult to use mechanically. It's just like the mind games you can do with this character is sick. It's sick. Such a cool character. No other character functions like this. No other stealth character plays the way he plays. Like he is a crazy good stealth character, and they did this character very well. Okay, it's fucked up. I think this is a perfect spot for him. Maybe above Bubba, in all honesty, because they both do the same thing, and then neither of them have to waste the time getting the injure if they just get the expose. But Bubba's like forced to get the expose, and you can choose if the survivors are smart enough, you can like gauge them and then see if you can get the expose on them and then the hit. but you have to be close enough for the expose to actually work. And the second that they know you're Ghostface, they're gonna be looking for you. So Bubba's usually getting a little more value out of it. Insta death is ridiculous. Insta death's ridiculous. Actually crazy. And insta chase are just and then immediate, like just go straight into it. All he has to do is just chase you down to a place where there's not a pallet. Ridiculous. Hag. Right about here, I believe. For sure better than Pyramid Head. Um, Hag is very interesting. So, um, opposite of what you want to do with characters like Trapper, Pyramid Head, etc., the ones that require momentum to gain more momentum, Hag kind of creates her own momentum. Um, very, very different playstyle. Hag wants to ideally get the 3 gen, obviously. I mean, most killers would benefit from a 3 gen. But immediately from the start of the game, you have to be like, all right, this is the half of the map that I'm going to be defending. And I'm going to corral survivors into this location. I'm going to want to hook here because I've placed a lot of my traps here. There's a lot of thinking. There's a lot of forethought. Um, but like you just have like so much like map control. It's actually crazy. You have granted you have to waste the time to get it, but if you run something like what corrupt intervention or whatever the fuck it's called, start the game with like almost all the gens blocked off. Um, that the those are the gens that she has to defend that she knows right off the bat. She just immediately gets all the traps laid out, wasted no time as a result. Great perk on her. Um, controls like half the map at that point. Like anti loop. If they put the trap down, survivor has to run. The loop immediately became unsafe, like 100%. Um, anti loop, mobility when a person runs over it, so situational mobility, but mobility in any sense is good. Um, map knowledge, map awareness, map control, um, mind games, like everything. This character is like everything you could have asked for, literally. The only downside I think there is this character, obviously, given her slow movement speed, which is made up for by the fact that she has um her traps to use for mobility. Um, but if you've seen like good hags play, they're not losing games. Good hags are not losing games. There was one German player, I believe it was, who played hag with a super interesting build, and it's actually ridiculous to watch. It's actually crazy. Ran like Dark Devotion, which I was like, why? Like, why the fuck would you go that? Creates so much confusion. Actually unreal. Just they never know where she is. It's just like the comms get flooded and it just overwhelms like a good survivor with friends. This is like this character creates a lot of confusion. Clouds the comms, like hits people, like it doesn't even matter what's going on. Just does create so much chaos. I think chaos is a good way of putting it. Great character. Fantastic character. Very few downsides. A lot of upsides. For sure belongs there. Billy. Blah, 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 blah. Took the nerfs, and since then I think has been worse, but still very good. Still very good. Very, very good character. Billy has the one-shot potential of Bubba, with the only downside being he can't hit multiple people, which you're almost never doing with Bubba. So, better version of the chainsaw. Chainsaw can be used for mobility. Mobility. So much mobility. So fast. Can get screwed over by some maps, which is important to state, for sure. You're playing on Larry's, you're playing on Hawkins, you're just gonna get screwed over. But that's just how it works, you know. But if you're playing on an open map, you have such a leg up on every other killer in the entire game. And you run like one gen defense perk, you see where you defend everything perfectly. The second you find someone, you go for the insta down. If you get that, you have so much momentum. You run like Pop Goes the Weasel. There are so many good perks on this killer. It's ridiculous. There's so much you can run on him. Hex Undying, Undying, Ruin, Tinkerer, and then Pop Goes the Weasel. I think that will probably one of the best perk builds you can go on this character. Ridiculous. Checks the whole map in 2 seconds. When they find the survivor, downs the survivor in 2 seconds, and then knows immediately where to go after the fact, just because like he can check every gen and see which one's being done. Map knowledge, mobility, like, and it doesn't even matter that they nerfed him. The nerf was only like um preventing against face camping, where he could charge the L2 up and down, so that he could just one shot anyone who went to go for the save. Crazy character, crazy character. I'm even tempted to put him like above, which like I might do. This was like kind of like a personal bias. I said I wanted to be as objective as possible, and if that's the case, I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do that. I think he's really, really fucking good. I think he's really fucking good. I stand behind that for sure. And I know I'm probably missing some things I want to talk about in specific characters. I didn't mean for this to be like a whole thing. Um, but if anything comes up, I'll for sure, I'll for sure come back. I'll for sure come back. Here's an interesting one. Huntress. Huntress, 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 Huntress. Good killer. Good killer. Actually, I'm gonna do this right now. I don't think I have to explain myself. Just changed it a little bit. Hmm, here. I think here. What can we talk about Huntress? Throws hatchets, has to go to lockers to recharge them, gives them 4 or 5, I believe. Slows you down as you're charging, hold them out for a while, let it rip, Beyblade, basically a free hit. Anti-loop, um, has the ability to. So she's probably the worst instance, the absolute worst instance of being able to use your ability to get someone to like move left and right to gain distance. Um, but I don't feel like she really needs it. She Her anti-loop is so good because she's just getting so many hits off when people are forced to make a leap over something. And she makes the read. And even if they don't, she can most of the time just cancel it and then just like get the hit off. Um, really good killer. Doesn't have like anything crazy special about her besides the whatchamacallit. Huntress is def higher. I'm like, I don't think. Here's where I stand. She could be like anywhere in here. Huntress is not better than Billy. Well, okay, no then, Blyster, explain where you think Clown stands in this tier list. Because I think a good way of doing it is just asking if one character is better than another. Clown is worse than Doctor. Doctor's worse than Demo. Demo's worse than Freddy. Freddy's worse than Ghostface. And like these three are a jumbled mess of like I don't know much about them because I don't play them often enough. But Freddy, whatchamacallit, Billy's probably better than fucking Deathslinger, and then these two is like interchangeable, almost, almost. He might honestly even go up here. There's so many good things about this killer. I honestly think he's so slept on. But no, I'm not letting you finagle me out of too much. I'll do this though. I need to stand my ground for some things. I'll move her one up, but for sure no. And I don't know where the fuck you think Clown goes, but he did not get a lot better with the buffs. Maybe here, like maybe run of the mill, but he's still so fucking slow. Tier list bad. bad. Mad bad. Um, we didn't even talk a whole lot about huntress. Anti-loot puts people in fear to gain distance on people by charging and then canceling. Can't do it as well as other characters, but can still do it. Has to waste time to get hatchets, not a huge deal. Usually most of the time you just wait until it's convenient for you to do it. Um, and as long as you're not wasting hatchets making bad reads, you should honestly be fine. Um, Slightly slower movement speed, which you can kind of feel, especially when you're charging the hatchet. But for the most part, pretty fucking good. Top most fuckable killers. I think someone's already done a tier list like that, haven't they? I'm pretty sure someone's done that. Ugh. But I think that's enough to talk about her. She's very simple. There's very little to talk about her. She has the specific add-ons that make her go. Twins goes in fuck me. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Don't say that again. I actually fucking hate that. Holy shit. Alright, but enough to be said about Huntress. Super simple killer. Super simple. Straightforward. Difficult. Still high skill cap. Ginormous hitboxes for the hatchets where you're gonna clip something and you're gonna be like, why the fuck did that hit that goddamn box? Or why the fuck did that hit that goddamn pallet, a goddamn crate, etc., etc., etc. But when you get used to it, she's really fucking good. She's really fucking good. Legion. Contrary to popular belief, Legion's not going in niche. As a matter of fact, he might even be better than Clown. And maybe this just could be because I'm Prestige 3 Legion and I fucking love Legion and I love playing Legion so much. I think he's crazy fun. Um, Fuck you. You are pissed. You want Clown higher. It's not happening. You want Clown so much higher. Legion is just okay. I think 90% of Legions that exist on console or PC in general, Clown hatred. At 90 to 95% of the people that play Legion incorrectly. Call me crazy. Hot take. One of the few hot takes we're gonna have on this stream. Hot take. Hot take. If you are playing Legion, you are most likely playing him wrong. Is that hurt for me to say? There's a really good YouTuber who plays as Legion, Raging Ryuga. Um, not a bad content creator for sure. I would suggest you look into him for sure. He taught me a couple things even I didn't know regarding Legion. There's just tech. There's a lot of tech you can do, small things that like kind of adds up to make him more of a viable character. He suffers from everything. I could shit and then flush it, and it would do more than demo at loops. Demo at loops isn't that bad. Isn't that bad. He gets the hits if he's close enough. You just can't be wasting time. You have to be making the read. But fuck talking about demo. Legion can create a lot of chaos early off. If you miss, Clown is not better than demo. You are high. High on marijuana. Legion, if he misses, I do have to say this one thing. I do have to say this one thing. If Legion misses the first hit, yeah, we should just honestly do a tier list for cosmetics. I'd be all over that. Um, if Legion misses the first hit of his L2 the second he finds the first survivor, that's a blunder. That's what we call in the chess community a blunder. And blundering will lose you the game outright. You will like the power recovery rate. Like you'd have to have an add-on to like come back from that. Missing that first hit loses you so much momentum. If you miss that first hit, they're getting like 2 to 3 gens done. Easy. And then all you're getting is probably like an injure on one person. That's so much time lost. I can't tell you how many games I've had where the person just juiced to the side luckily and like sensitivity wasn't good enough for me to like get the hit. So I just lost like the potential to injure like 3 to 4 people and get someone down after the fact and make them all waste their time. But instead I just missed. Clown has no punishment for missed cum jars. Demo literally eats wood or brick and then realizes how shit he is as a killer. The piss and cum jars. And I know this isn't a big thing, but he has to reload. And that's why you have to make it's like Huntress. You have to play demo like Huntress. You have to know when they're gonna be making a read, then execute. Clown is just like I throw a bottle. Like I wanna slow him down. Clown can be played better, granted, if he's smarter, but he still wastes time and he doesn't have mobility. That demo does. Doesn't have utility like demo does. All he does is chase. It's all this character does with no mobility. None. 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 Zero. Zero mobility. Zero. I am strong with my stance on demo, and there's nothing you can do to say or stop me. Um, Legion belongs here though. Not nearly as bad as people make him out to be. So much tech you can do. Someone goes for a save, hit them with a whatchamacallit, and you're in your power. Someone goes for the save, hit them with a thing, and then they'll go for the save again. Hit him again. They're gonna have to waste time like going to get like the save again because it cancels their animation for it, and then you get the free hit. Small things like that. Using like Spirit Fury and then like enduring like really good combo with this character because you're able to like get into pallets so much easier and like get hits off. This puddle, please let me kiss you. Oh my. Oh my. Not as bad as people make Mata to be. Viable. 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 Nurse. Y'all saw it coming. Y'all saw it coming. Do I even have to talk? Do I even have to say a single word about this killer? Do I have to say anything for you to understand that this killer is the greatest killer in the game since release, has been, and always will be? OP character. This character, I mean, as much as I would love to like add this on, it is on you if you lose with this character. This character is crazy. You are wasting no time. You have mobility. You have chase potential. You have map control. You have mind games. You have everything. You have everything. You have everything in the game. You have everything at the hands, in your hands, at your disposal, to win the game with Nurse. If you lose the game with Nurse, it's probably on you. Survivors can be really good. Things that are really hard counters to Nurse. Strider, Dead Hard. Dead Hard makes her waste so much more time. So much more time than she normally would be. But as long as she doesn't go for the hit, she expects it. Maybe use like another blink after the fact. Again, mind games. She has everything. She can do whatever. Whatever. And it's like the downside isn't even bad. Having to go every 2 seconds, honestly, not terrible at all. Not terrible at all. This character's crazy. And her add-ons aren't even like great. Oh my god, you have the true talent shit. You're nuts. Bloody, bloody spirit, bloody spirit. God, I fucking love true talent. Um, Nurse is ridiculous. Nurse is ridiculous. Such a fun character. So fun. Oh, so fun. It sucks because I think like all the characters are in well above average. I might honestly just drop absolute garbage and we'll do garbage. and we'll drop this one. Oh no. Um, I'm just gonna get this out of the way. I'm just gonna get that out of the way. Piggy's coming up. We got two till Piggy. Um, let's get. No, hold up. Let's get this out of the way. So I have played so much Trickster. I have played so much Trickster. So much Trickster. It's actually ridiculous. Obviously I don't have prestige or anything, but I've played him like basically every game I've played in Dead by Daylight since that this character's been out has been a Trickster game. And I can say with confidence that this killer has nothing that these other killers have. Nothing. And if you're gonna want to make the easiest comparison, um, he's like Huntress. He is like Huntress. He's the same character as Huntress, but 20,000 times worse. I am pretty sure he is slower than Huntress. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Don't quote me on it. Pretty sure he's slower than Huntress. Um, takes 8 hits. 8 to get an injury. 8. You have to hit them 8 times. Which, as you can imagine, unless you're throwing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's not going to be the same thing as fucking um blah. Huntress just grabbing your hatchet and going 1. Like, and they buffed him and he's still terrible. They're going to have to change him. And I have some thoughts about how to go about it. Um, one of which I thought I was pretty clever for coming up with is that I mean obviously get rid of how slow he is, holy shit, to start, and then after that his power, which is garbage and serves no purpose whatsoever, literally none, unless you're like cracked and you can hit every single shot, is not going to do much for you. Um, I was saying that instead of getting his power, he gets a power that's 20 times faster to charge. After he hits like after he hits like 2 or 3 knives, he gets the option to throw like 5 at once. Tell me that wouldn't be better. Main event, garbage. Main event is so bad. He moves so slow. Like, you only get use out of it, you activate it, and then you charge it. And then after 3 seconds of waiting, then you throw that whole time that you're slowed. By then, everyone has evacuated the area. Everyone's gone, and you get no value out of it. And then you have to fucking cool down after it. You're like, ah. And then by then, everyone's 5 miles away from you. And maybe you hit someone with like 4 knives. Guess what? That doesn't matter anymore. Because that fucking shit is going to go down. And you didn't even injure them. You just got like 2 blood points for hitting a couple knives. Give him a 9mm call today. That sounds 20 times better. 20 times better. Give him something. The knife idea is cool. I love the idea. It's just poorly executed. His main event is garbage. I think that's probably the worst power they've ever come up with. Ever. So useless. No reason to ever use it. Unless like you have one kunai left. Like one dagger. And then you can just throw an infinite amount when you really, really need it in an open area. Like in your ideal dream situation. Like I keep thinking about like when can I use this power where it would actually work? And I think the best possible situation is when you know someone is going for a save in the basement. That's it. Because then they're forced to just fucking go through you, through the blender. But then like it's still on you to hit like almost every single one. Slow as fuck, no mobility. Worst version of Huntress with throwing. Has to waste time as well. Be right back, pause the stream. Okay, I'll do anything for you, I'll wait. Funny. Terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. And I know that like the whole point. I know that like companies aren't supposed to change characters that they just released because it looks bad on the company. But if they're gonna buff this character into Oblivion, it's only gonna make him like stupidly OP. I can totally see it coming. Like if he needs like 4 daggers to down somebody, like or some shit. Like, can you imagine that? There we go. Now we're thinking. Then he's actually scary. God forbid he actually has viability. But if they buff him to a point that where his kit works, he's just gonna be like overpowered and unfun for survivors. That's the way I see it. I think they need to change um his alt, his main event for sure. He needs something completely new and revamped for that. And then I think a couple buffs to movement speed, and I think he'll um and the laceration meter. I think it'll be 20 times better. Something. They got to do something. Something. Anything at all. Oni. So Oni has two types of games, right? He's got the type of game where he hits someone fast, and then the type of game where he doesn't hit somebody fast. And believe it or not, those create drastically different games for the Oni. Drastically different. Before that first hit, where he's just a normal killer who just walks around looking for people to hit, before that happens, he has no power. He has no power. He is a powerless killer. Put that into um, perspective for you. He is Trapper without traps for the beginning of the game until he hits somebody. And the second he hits somebody, the game changes entirely. It's basically on the survivors to not give him the first hit. If he gets the first hit, he gets so much momentum. And by the way, he's not ranked here. I'm still thinking. Um, it's hard to place a character such as this because he's niche. Don't get me wrong. Um, for sure niche character because he relies on him getting the blood, and whether or not the survivors allow it is like basically just a 50-50 chance for the most part. You'll almost always get the hit, but like it depends on when you're getting it that he's doing well. I'm gonna put him here because he is well above average. I don't think by any means he's run of the mill. I think the second that he gets his power, he becomes like one of the greatest characters in the game. With his power out, he's just Billy, but with like more maneuverability and like doesn't have like the cooldown. He just has that brief moment of just power, just so much power. Um, he's less, in, which is why I'm putting him here, less consistent than all of these characters, all of these top, from well above average up, way less consistent. You're gonna have way different games every single time. You're gonna be like, dude, Oni's OP, and like one game, and then the other game you'd be like, what the fuck, Oni is absolute garbage. I got nothing that game, and that's just gonna go tipping scales back and forth, and it always changes. There's no consistency with Oni. If you get the hit, there will be consistency. If you don't, it's over. Your game's over. And I don't know too much about his add-ons, so nothing to say there. No map really screws him. But there are maps that do benefit him for sure. I mean, obviously, worse on Larry's, worse on Hawkins, better on like open field maps, just like Billy, same shit. Um, but not bad, not bad at all. One-shotting with mobility, running everyone on the map, checking everything. Scary, scary killer for sure. Pig, piggy, piggy, piggy. You going there? Garbage, garbage. Bruh, the bruh tier. Yeah, it's a big bruh character, big bruh moment. Um, Pig suffers from lack of mobility, and it is noticeable. And she quote unquote has anti-loop, But like, dude, she just doesn't have much. She's annoying. I will give her that. She forces the survivor to go and waste their time trying to take their fucking head thing off. But having like RNG built into her kit and to an already inconsistent character is just like bad. Either the survivor, like if the survivor gets the thing off like on the first shot, you're just screwed. You're just screwed. Your game's over. Like you lost so much pressure, wasted so much time. Like because the chase probably took 20 minutes because you have no means of catching up to them. You could mind game like a little pallet loop if you want, if it's like close enough by like charging your ability. They don't really see which way you're looking. You look one way and then turn around and then full dash like one way and then maybe get a hit off. But like it takes so much effort, and if it doesn't work, you wasted so much time, so much time, so much time. Her stealth is good. It slows your movement speed. Um, but you know who has stealth and doesn't have slowed movement speed, and is also consistent, and is also just a better character. Yeah, no reason. No reason to play her when you have Ghostface. A worse stealth killer, an inconsistent power. Um, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you get the things on. Maybe your RNG is good, and then like everyone has to undo their trap on the absolute last jigsaw puzzle thing, and then they waste a lot of time, so you get some momentum. Then she becomes viable. But in most cases, you're just losing the traps off the bat. You're wasting a lot of time to win chases. Your stealth isn't doing much for you, and you have no mobility. So you're just stuck. Stuck, 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 stuck. The Plague. I agree with this one person who made it to your list. I hope the new killer is Nemesis or Tyrant. I actually haven't played Resident Evil, but I am excited for new killers regardless, and I'm glad that other people are going to be able to enjoy the content. And I'll be playing every killer. I love playing new killers, dude. I love it. Even when Trickster came out and I heard he was terrible, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna love playing this character. Believe it or not. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Plague is similar to Oni in the sense that they both have bursts of power that rely on RNG slash luck slash etc. There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of unknowns with these characters. So your pools of corruption can just be on shitty spots in the map. You can just get screwed because all of your stuff is in terrible spots that you never want to go to, but the survivors can waste as much time as they want. You you hit somebody and then you fucking poison them and then they're throwing up and it doesn't matter because they get all their health back the second that they heal, so you're wasting value. Um, but I see a lot of those problems with bad plague players. Bad plague players. Plague is actually, believe it or not, quite a good killer. And the reason I think she um, is because she wastes time. She wastes time. Survivors can opt to not waste their time by not healing, which is a strat. You can just go dead hard and then play it very safe. You just play the game very safe. The second you hear Terror Radius and you're already like puking or whatever, you just immediately start running away, get to the safest pallet you can, and then just loop. And then you waste her time, and then the game becomes a lot easier. Um, but the added benefit of her being able to get her whatchamacallit, her pools, if she actually gets any value out of them, I think that's like a huge momentum gain. If she gets in like the ideal situation to use her puke, which like a lot of people don't use correctly. Like if you aim up and then you just whip it back and forth, it covers so much area, and I feel like people aren't using that well. I mean, I don't even use it to its full potential. I have yet to see a good plague, but I know that it's physically possible. It's it's possible for her to be good. And because of this possibility of I see people not playing her correctly, I have to put her here. I have to put her here. She's more than viable. To say she is just viable would be underrating her power entirely. It has too much utility. Being able to force people to waste their time the second that they get poisoned, being able to spread poison across gens to like pinpoint areas for specific survivors. There's just a lot to it. There's a lot to it. She's a tough cookie. She's a complex cookie as well. There's a lot to be said about her, but I think just because she would be up here if she didn't have RNG, and she would be down here if she didn't have a utility. So I think right here she has both. So I think she's right in the middle. I think she's right in the middle, and I will live on dying on that hill. Myers, I think he is good. I would put him in bruh, and honestly, he feels like this when I play Survivor because I'm garbage. Because I'm just garbage as Survivor. But ideally here, no mobility. I mean, like if you want like a stark like comparison, you just compare him to Bubba or fucking Billy. They do what he does, except better. They don't have to wait to one-shot somebody. They can just one-shot somebody. And Billy gets mobility while doing it. And like, granted, you could go like the add-ons, like scratched mirror, see people through walls, go for hits, maybe get the tier 3 where you insta-kill somebody. It's like, wow, yeah, you just won the game. Congratulations. You're now up here because you just killed someone. Like, nice job. If you're playing him without add-ons, or with base add-ons, not OP add-ons, he is here. He is here. Michael not higher. Nope, Michael not higher. And like I said, when I'm playing Survivor, it feels like he's here. Feels like he's here. But in reality, like if I try to play Myers, and there's not a lot, not a lot, not a lot you have to think about when playing Myers. No mind games really. Like you're not gonna beat someone in a loop. You're just running quickly. No wonder Lauren left. Lauren left because she doesn't love me. She despises me, and she just doesn't want to see where I rank Wraith. Um, but Myers has nothing that other characters do have. Like just way worse versions than Bubba, and like because Bubba has the anti-loop. Bubba has the breaks pallets. Bubba has like a ginormous speed boost and the ability to down multiple people at once, like with one swing. And then he has that with mobility. And then he has none of that. He just has the one shot aspect. This is bad. Bad streamer. Get him out. Here we go. You thought. You thought the spirit is OP. And who saw it coming? Again, who saw it coming? I did. She's crazy. She does what Nurse does, but slower. And that's it. That's literally it. This list, bad. My ass, fat. Hotel, Trivago. Oh, don't care, didn't ask, plus your tier list is trash. Um, so much I could talk about. But I'll let her power speak for herself. Becomes invisible, gains movement speed, cannot see survivors, but survivors cannot see her, and gains a little movement speed boost after exiting so that she can hit a ginormous launch. Spirit is fucking crazy. Spirit is crazy. She is crazy. If you get the injure before using your power, that's an instant down. Almost every time. If you are running Strider, you don't even need to like be thinking that much about where they're going because they will literally be like aching in pain, just being like, over here, like, I hope someone doesn't find me, and then you just immediately know where they are. You're running like 3 times faster than them, and then it's just an instant down. If you looping, if you get the hit, again, let me preface this with if you start a fight with getting a hit off, you will almost always be able to get the person. Almost always. As long as you have a general sense of like understanding where survivors are and map awareness, you will know like which direction to turn, where to go, like you'll know exactly where they're standing at all times. You'll know exactly what is going on through their mind and you can mind game them into existence. You can mind game by not moving at all to pretend that you're your husk. That is crazy. That is a viable strat. You can just and then just and then they're fucking dead. Like the fact that you can actually do that and it's viable is ridiculous to me. This character has so many intricacies about them, and it's actually crazy. There's just like very little downside to this killer besides the fact that her mobility suffers, and that's it. And she doesn't even suffer that much because she can move quicker in her power. If you get any add-ons, she becomes ridiculous. I'd say with add-ons, she might even be better than Nurse. Nurse's add-ons don't do much, but her add-ons are noticeable. Noticeable add-ons. Running faster but not being able to see blood. You don't need to see blood if you can hear where they are. Hear the glass crinkle they DC. This killer is crazy. Such a good killer. So much I could talk about. But I think I'll leave it at that. Anti-loot. Um anti-loot, mind games, um super good chase potential with less like risk than Nurse. Nurse loses like a lot of time. She at least like gets put in the right position, and unless if you like don't attack, if you choose to like not hit them at that moment because maybe like you're not standing right where you want to, you can just keep walking, and you don't have to like gasp for breath. So ups and downs, but this killer's ridiculous. Is this nerfed Freddy? This is nerfed Freddy, and I haven't even tried him yet, but that's all what I'm hearing. But here, he's somewhere there. You know what? Honestly, I'm gonna put him here. I want to put him above Pig. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, no, pre nerf Freddy was ridiculous. He would teleport all over the map and control everything and just be a god. Trapper. Trapper needs to gain momentum to win the game. If you gain no momentum in the early game, you will lose. You require some bit of momentum to carry your game. You can't just start the game by placing traps. It's a common misconception. You need to get someone down and then start corralling survivors. You want a 3 gen. You want to like you'll see me saying this a lot, but with bad killers, you want to like you need to be like, all right, I'm obviously not going to go from part A of the map to part B because that would take 20 minutes of my time. Oh my god. Playing Freddy with Twins lunge perk. Coup de grace. The coup de grace. Good perk. I want to try that perk more. I feel like that could be a good one. It's every time they finish a gen though. I feel like it should give a token on something else that isn't so like detrimental to the game. What was I saying? Trapper. I feel like good trappers. Don't get me wrong. There are difference. There's a difference from good and bad trappers. Believe it or not. You can big brain some people into some cool shit. Like people, I mean, the immediate thought is you want to put traps like near chokeholds, which isn't a bad idea. You put them near you get the down. So here's your ideal trapper game that you would think of. You get the down, you get the hook, and then you place like one or two traps close to the hook, and then try to like position yourself in a position that gets them to move into it. Otherwise, that they're forced to take a hit on the way out of saving the survivor. Um, but the traps are like potent. If people run into traps, if like one or two people run into traps and you're able to get the grab after the fact, um, he actually becomes pretty good. Like, I mean, like, bruh, like, I still don't think viable just because, like, there's an add-on that lets you start with and carry an extra trap. That's required to play this character at the bare minimum. If you are only carrying one trap, you waste so much time. You waste so much time. In fact, I think like a good move would just be to just give him like the ability to carry two or three at once. But that might be like a little too much. I don't know. I feel like this character's like been bad. But there's places where you can put traps that people aren't expecting. Anti-loop traps. Not ones near windows that people are going to deactivate, but ones in grass off to the side where a survivor would have to take the shortest possible path to get to a loop. And then you can place it there. And then there's your fucking anti-loop. Big brain plays. You need big brain to play Trapper correctly, and then he becomes viable. Otherwise, he's bottom. But since there's a mix, I'm putting him in Bua tier. He's a big Bua. Twins. Twins is all over the place for me. See, the problem with the Twins is it's what type of game do you want to have? Do you want to slug people in one hook then? Because if that's the fact, she's like fucking here. Literally got gen rushed with the trapper and got a hook and 4K'd off of it. It's literally you get so much momentum. It's crazy. The character just jumps from the lowest of lows to the highest of highs when one person gets trapped. Like it's not even like as drastic as like Oni when he gets the first hit. Like getting a trap is like the best feeling. The best feeling. You should absolutely clip it as well. But here, the dilemma with the twins. I feel like the twins is bad and I'm not gonna have a whole discussion about what the game should be balanced around. Because I think there's been enough said about that by those two streamers I watch, True Talent and Ots. They have a whole video on it. If you are confused about why this game is weird, you should look into it for sure. It's fantastic. Twins are, I must say, one of the most fun killers in the game. Yeah, see, you just said it, Placer. One of the most fun killers in the game, and it's not even close. Being able to play as two people is sick, and being able to like just be like on the ground moving fast as fuck and leaping like 100 feet to jump on a survivor and then like utilizing two people and like strategy and shit like that and creating confusion and chaos is so much fun. So much fun. Granted, there's like a lot of cool things you can't really do, like block off like pallets when you're playing as like Charlotte, which I get. That would be kind of OP. Um, but what was I saying? She's not great at getting 12 hooks. And that there's again, I'm not talking about game dev shit. I'm not going to get into the depths of it. But there was a conversation where should the game revolve around hooks or kills? Because if you want kills, you could easily just get everyone down in the game, get their unbreakables out of the way, and then just down them again with Victor because you have so much map control, and then just fucking win the game, quote unquote, by whatever definition you think of the game as winning. Like, I share True Talent's um, ideology of what this game should be balanced around, and I think it's hooks. I think you should ideally want to not have to one hook everybody for a win. That seems pretty shitty. If that's your idea of a win, then why don't you just one hook everyone every single game? And then you're just gonna get hate mail every game because nobody likes the way that game is played. But I like the feeling of mind gaming people 20 times over and then being able to pull off like, yeah, I hooked you because I mind gamed you. I hooked you because I mind gamed you over and over and over and over again. That's 20 times better than just, oh, like, I got lucky this one time. I'm going to leave you on the ground, go for your friend, and then I'm going to hook all of you. And none of you are getting off because there's like a 2% chance for you to. It seems less fun. Granted, I know there's like a whole argument with like, oh, well, the survivors, like in 12 hooks, they could be switching with survivors getting chased, and then like, isn't that good on the survivor? Like, no. At least I don't think so. All I know for a fact is that it's more fun to play the game for getting more hooks than it is for just kills. And that's the way I see this game. And since that's the case, and I'm following that belief, I'm going to put twins. There. Better than Deathslinger for sure. Better than Deathslinger for sure. Like neck and neck with him. And I was honestly debating putting him there. So she's like kind of interchangeable. But she is by no means bad. No means. She is very good. She is very, very good. Map control. Um, shit ton of speed. Huge down potential. Huge map knowledge. Map awareness. Um, using Victor to scout things instead of just using him as a means of hitting people. Very potent. Especially late game. Wins like the hatch showdown. If she finds the hatch, she can just stand at both exit gates and then just win the game. Like, not even fucking close. So easy. Um, she's good. She's good, and there's a lot you can do with her. And if you're good with Victor, you'll probably be good with her because playing as Victor is like 90% of this character. Because Victor is the better killer, and you'll hear me say that again and again and again. Victor, you should be trying to use Victor to hit people because it's easier to. No reason to not. Very good killer. And last but least, I'm torn. Is Wraith better than Legion? No, Wraith is not better than Legion. Legion has stuff he can do. Wraith. Wraith is better than a lot of people with his add-ons. But add-onless, which are most games, or low add-ons or medium add-ons, only his top tier add-ons make him a very good killer. His mid-tier add-ons keep him about where he's at, for the most part. Um, he is viable, and I think that's a good way to put it. Let's see what she said, bless her. I got a good play with Victor once where I ran his no screams with his pounce fully charged and walked toward the exit gate with it, pouncing someone teabagging and down them, which hooked them in blood when activated. That's the funniest shit ever. Oh my god. When things work out like that, when you're able to make plays like that, it's just fantastic. Wraith, I don't think is terrible. Don't get me wrong. I think Wraith has his use. I think not knowing where he is good, but for the most part, people still do know because he's trans. It's like the difference between translucent and transparent. I forget which one it is. You can still see him, though, is what I'm saying. You can't even his terror radius, but you can see him, and his bell gives them just enough time to be able to escape safely. Granted, he gets the whirlwind a lot, but he's wasting so much time hitting the bell, and he doesn't have like a means of really fast mobility. He just has decent mobility. And like you're gonna hear him every time he transforms because it makes the giant world noise, so you'll know exactly what's going on. Like even if you're not in a survive with friends, you'll know he went invis because like, oh, the person got hurt, he turned into his invisible, and then like the person just healed, like he's invisible. That was the last thing I heard. He's probably coming to me. There's just so much. There's a lot of downsides to this killer. Granted, he can anti-loop at like medium safe, medium safe pallets. I'd say. Like if like you get the charge perfectly, He is faster in cloaked form, which is notable. It's noticeable. So like you use it to catch up, and then when you think you can get the hit, then you go for it, which like understandable. I mean, obviously, just use your common sense. That makes sense. Um, but I don't think he's great. I think there's some add-ons that help him. If you have his silent bell and his see people through walls, like you're like up fucking you're like up here with fucking um Ghostface because you're essentially the same killer. But he's not Ghostface for the most part. He is not. He belongs here. No anti-loop. I mean, yes, anti-loop, but not good anti-loop. Not nearly as good as the other killers up here. Um, fucking average, slightly below average mobility. Not much map control. Good survivors will just put you in the ground. They will literally put you in the dirt. Only play with your food and chase the obsession stack and just down the other side so easily. I mean, yeah, there's don't get me wrong. There's like perk builds you can go that make him more viable. That would like drive him up to like probably run of the mill. But like every like as he is like base, I think he's pretty below average. Pretty below average killer. Definitely not down here with bottom. Don't get me wrong. Bottom has his own tier. Um, for sure. Damn, did we do it? That is every killer. Can I do this? Download image. Oh, I have to log in. Lame. Alright, well then if that's the case, I'll probably save it. Here, can I zoom out? I'm taking a picture for my own goodness. Wonderful. And I will probably post this to Twitter. And the VOD should be saved on Twitch. And I kind of wanted to have this just so I could have the VOD on Twitch so that I could express my ideas on some killers. But I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I think I like this tier list for sure. Um, any questions, please let me know. But I'm gonna end stream here for sure. So I have not eaten shit, and I really need to work out, and I have more work to do for the day. But thank you for showing up, especially you, Blazer. You're the fucking man. Have a fantastic day. Ooh, you get to see all this. Let's go. Thanks for showing up. Peace out.